But I'm gonna rank these 9 new hypercharges. So I think Bonnie's for her specifically is very good. Wait, let me see who I think is probably the best. The best, it could be Kit. It could be RT. RT's seems like S tier. Bonnie's seems like A tier. I'm not really sure about Shade. It seems pretty good. I would put Doug's in C tier. Chuck's, as far as the hypercharge itself goes, it's down here. It's our F tier. That is a little bit weighted by how good he is. Moe's is cool, but I don't think it's super crazy or anything as far as a hypercharge goes. I think Shades isn't that wild. It basically just lets you not aim and does a little more damage, but he does a lot of damage with those hits. So I think every shot being that hit, even if you have bad aim, I think in general, it's not super cool. It doesn't add something really new to it. It just makes it to where you don't have to aim as well. But I still think it's a great one. By itself, I don't know if it's as good for him as Bonnie's is for her, but I think it's better than Doug's. Lumi's is pretty wild. I'm gonna put it here. Kit's is crazy. I think I've got to put it... Honestly, we'll have to see how it works. Like, does she have free movement everywhere? Or does she just... have to stay around a certain area? I'm gonna say A for now. Better than Bonnie. And Draco's, I would say it's probably about as good as Doug's. This is my ranking of all the brawlers that have new hypercharges. If you haven't watched the Brawl Talk, I would recommend it. It is very cool. They're all very strong. I would say that Chuck's, I mean, for one, Chuck's not that great. Moe's is a little better than what his normal super is. It's nothing too crazy, I would say. It has a longer range and it lasts longer, which is great. But it's nothing too super special. RT's looks absolutely insane. It's definitely going to move him up a couple tiers, maybe. But I'm going to make a tier list of the new brawlers themselves based on how they'll fit into the new meta. And my next tier list. We already ranked the hypers, so this was our ranking of the 9 new hypercharges. If you haven't seen the new hypercharges, they're pretty crazy overall. I would say they're generally pretty crazy. And now we're going to rank the brawlers after they've received their hypercharges. The 9 brawlers that got new hypercharges, we're gonna rank where they end up in the rankings after all is said and done. So with Bonnie is generally probably about C tier, I would say. Maybe B. She got a buff. She got reworked. Twitter is fun. I just watched Street Fighter or Street Fights. Like IRL street fights. Hell yeah. Doug is S at least A. Bruh. He did get a rework. He will be better. But we'll get to that in a couple. I think Bonnie is ending up in our B tier. This is where I think she's going to end up. I think it is a good hypercharge for her. She could even be A. She could even be S in Heist. But this is not just for whatever mode they're in. Otherwise, Chuck would be up higher as well. But we'll get there. Shade Shade is not in the best spot. Now, I think generally, I would say somebody with a really good Shade can do well with him on specific maps. But in general, he's not a good place in the meta. His Hypercharge isn't a huge buff, like for some brawlers. So I'm going to stick him there. And C, I think, for now. RT, on the other hand, has a crazy Hypercharge. Absolutely broken. It looks insane. It does a bunch of damage. And it gives his super way more range. He's definitely, I'm pretty sure he's definitely going to be A tier. Even high A tier, potentially. Maybe S tier, but I don't want to swing that far ahead. So Doug. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you could just, you know, chime in every once in a while. Thanks, say what's up, you know? Get the, you know, you're also the cheerleader. Is that what they call him? Is that what? It's the leader of how many cheers? Not a cheerleader. Two separate. Just cheer. Does cheerleader have a space in it? I'm dumb. Anyway, Doug has been F tier for a long time, and since his release, basically. You're the leader of how many cheers? Bit leader. We call it a bit leader. So you could just increase your advantage, but also getting people to use TTS, I would like to happen. I think it's funny, especially if it's really cheap, like it's 1 cent. You know what I mean? Like, you buy $1's worth of bits and you can talk 100 times. I feel like that's a pretty good deal. I didn't want to make it expensive. I think it's better to have more TTS and make less money. I'm chill with that deal. So I am happy if you use them. I'm happy if other people start using them as well, just in general. I think it's fun. Anyway, Doug, I'm actually going to say he moves up 1 tier. I don't think that's as bad as it sounds. Because I actually think he'll be decently high up in D tier. Now, currently, there were only like 3 or 4 brawlers that are probably F tier. You had Doug. You had Bull, who will potentially get a little bit better, but I think maybe still stay in F tier. He did get a rework, but it's not exactly what he was looking for. But he didn't get a Hypercharge, so we're not ranking him. Chuck has been in D tier, and his Hypercharge is more of the same. I think he will stay in D tier. The new Doug Hypercharge made me remember that Doug is supposed to be a healer and not a double HP Jackie at home. But the thing is, his Hypercharge doesn't let him heal extra. It just lets whoever he uses his super on get his attack, which is basically another Jackie running around. Now, the rework did remind you, or should have reminded you, that he is a healer. But Is this lyrics? Is this lyrics to a song? Or is this meant as a chat? So I think he's actually gonna be worse than Doug. Doug could be at the very bottom of C tier, but I think I'm gonna do D tier just because I don't want to give him too much from just one Hypercharge. He did get a rework as well. And I am taking that into consideration, which is why I think he's towards the top of D tier. I think Chuck is just about where he was before, if I'm being honest. Mo, I think is going to go in B tier. B tier? He's been in C, I think-ish, somewhere around in there. Maybe even D. Is he better than Shade? No. And then we have Lumi. Yeah, it's a song. Nice. Call Me Maybe? Oh, that's the song? Hell yeah. Call Me Maybe. Hell yeah. I think that's how we're gonna line it up. I think Shade's gonna be a little bit better than Mo is at the end of the day. Lumi is our next one. She's definitely gonna be S tier. She's already S tier and she's getting a hypercharge, and the hypercharge is pretty damn good. She's fucking S tier. For sure. Kit, on the other hand, I'm gonna say Kit has a great hypercharge for what she does. And I think she could possibly be an A tier from that. She's already probably in like A or B. I don't think she'll be as good as RT, because I think RT is on the verge of S tier, if not S tier. These are probably a little slightly weighted downwards overall. But I don't want to have too many S tiers. I don't want to put like 4 brawlers S tier. But Lumi will definitely stay F tier unless she gets nerfed, because she's already S tier and she's getting a hypercharge. Just period. On that alone, even if the hypercharge was terrible, that would be a buff. She's going to be S tier. She'll be the best brawler in the game if there's not a balance change before then. And last but not least, we have Draco. I think Draco is probably we'll probably put him a little ahead of Mo. His hypercharge is decent. No, I'm going to switch that. Yeah, I'm going to switch that. Mo's a little better than Draco, but both very feasible. I think all these are weighted a little bit down. This should probably be S+. RT's probably S tier. Kit, maybe not. But maybe. These would be A. That seems a little strong. These would be B. Seems a little strong. These would be C. That seems a little strong. But basically all I'm saying is that maybe RT could go up there. That's basically what I'm saying. He's not F tier, but he's definitely pretty bad. Chuck's pretty bad. So yeah, this is my final rating. So as far as hypercharges go, this is my ranking. RT's is the best, Kit's is the next best, then Bonnie, then Lumi, then Shade, and then you get down to bad ones in general. I don't think Chuck's is very good. Mo's is okay. These two are all right, but these are all pretty good. As far as these go, it really, if you look at kind of the ratings, besides Lumi would be basically up top, but otherwise we have a very similar ranking here. Doug's hypercharge is better, but yeah, he was already in F tier. So was the Jackie HP nerf needed? Was she good enough to need a nerf? I wouldn't say so. I think they have to, so what they have to do, in my opinion, is they have to see what they're going to do in low-level trophies as well as high-level trophies, or low-level ranked as well as high-level ranked. So they have to kind of balance those things so that you don't have a brawler that's very broken at low levels but works out at high levels. I think that's the main thing that they're looking at. Because I think Jackie, while she could be picked at the high level sometimes, maybe, she's pretty decent at low levels. She's pretty decent at low levels. Need more coffee.